This is a generation that literally grew up on instant gratification. Easy button. If it doesn't fix it, I'm going to throw a tantrum because I want it fixed now, right? And it's like you see this now with this age. What is the age? Like you said,
14 to 29.
14 to 29. Go look at the protests in the streets and see who's out there. Go look at the people that are like, it's like go do something besides just disrupting things, right?
Oh
and is it their fault? I mean, at the end of the day, we all have to take responsibility. You are part of Gen Z.
Right.
Now you look in the mirror and say, we were probably failed, but are you going to live your entire life to say I was failed in this entire experiment to me growing up with the first generation with the smartphones in our face, the only generation that had to go through school during COVID? I mean, all of these things were massive failures, in my opinion. I think the way those things are handled were horrible.
They were so bad.
And but you can't, like, at some point, you got to look in the mirror and say, listen, I'm going to fix this. There's a massive opportunity in that generation to say, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Don't do a bunch of buy now, pay later stuff. Don't look for, try to delay some gratification. Try to get financially literate. Try to go educate yourself at this stage on different things. Go look at the things from a different lens than what you grew up with, because the lens we put in front of this generation that they had to learn in their most formidable years was pathetic, to be honest.
So bad.
So
it's so
I don't know
bad.
how this all ties into short-term rentals, but it's really sad.
Okay, there's like 3 points here. Okay, so activism and outrage, you mentioned that. And I would say that's the only place where they really see value. They see it all the time on their phones. It's the first thing they see is if you stand for something, Republican, Democrat, this or that, you gotta make a stand in there. You can find some value because you're just a little speck of sand in this infinite.
Yeah, so they feel like that they add value.
They add value to themselves.
Or impact. Yeah.
Right, and they stand for something. Yeah. So there's that.
Okay.
Then this idea of they delaying gratification, or they just like are upset about things, is because they feel like maybe they don't have to fix it. There's literally people that are like, we're going to give you free. You guys have to watch this episode to see. Well, we'll give you things to help you along the way. We'll give you this. And so they're like, okay, we'll play into it. But then this is, I think, where it really ties into short-term rentals here, is what does this mean for the people who are listening to this, your kids? We had our Boardroom HQ just came up this past Friday. We had one of our members show up with his 15-year-old son. He's a part of Gen Z.
Shout out to Blaine.
Exactly.
Good to see him.
He was here. He was learning about short-term rentals. He was learning about design. He was learning about marketing. He was walking around talking to other adults that are high-income earners and investors. So if you are a part of this, or you are one of these people, you could really help your child excel past so many of these other kids.
Well, you just have to be intentional about it, right? I mean, yes, he stands. Yes. Blaine is going to be in a great position because his dad and mom care. There are things that we can do for our kids, and I think that. Blaine's 15, my kids are 14. They're on the tail end of the Gen Z, right? And I do think that Gen Alpha and Gen Z, now we're looking at saying, hey, the front side of that group is we kind of screwed them up, right? And hopefully we're saying that as adults, like saying, man. And now though, the issue is we can't go say we're just going to fix it for you.
Right.
We have to take some responsibility, but we have to help them do it themselves, right? Like you can't just go fix a problem. You have to say let's go do this together. Right. Nobody will admit to screwing up ever. Everybody, there's this, there's a confirmation bias that every decision I make is written in stone and I can't change my mind, which I think is crazy. Decisions there are things that I believed 15 years ago that I don't believe today. And so it's okay to say, hey, I'm going to change my opinion or whatever, for whatever reason. We have a hard time doing that.
Right.
And so first we should probably tell a lot of these kids, hey, listen, we kind of screwed this one up. Let's kind of figure this out together.
Right.
We know because it's not a lack of intelligence when we say they're dumber statistically, right? I'm talking about the IQ scores, the cognitive scores, all that stuff.
I'm with you.
It's not that they're dumb in kids, right? It's like they just
No, I'll tell you. Here's an example. I took economics in high school, right? You know in my economics class, instead of teaching us about economics, we watched the movie The Big Short 3 times.
Yeah.
We watched a movie in my class.
Yeah.
Right. That's public school education right there. We weren't learning about like mortgage rates or FHA loan. We weren't learning about it. She wasn't teaching that. It was just like, hey, watch, Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell in this movie talk about something that goes on. So that was like, that's just what we were taught. And I remember kids on their phones just scrolling while we're supposed to be watching this movie. And like, that was my education. That's what I got.
Right.
So,
it's, I think it comes down to is just that instant gratification that the phones, like that like instant
100%.
Dopamine hit is super addictive. It's really sad. And now I don't want to spend the time to do any long form research and dive into something for, learn something or have any delayed gratification. Investments specifically. Let's talk about like financial literacy, it's like they're way more likely to jump on, Polymarket or throw something in crypto or throw something in these quick hit type of investments than they are to buy a piece of real estate that's going to be a 5-10 year
100%
type of a
sports betting. Tons. I know tons and tons. Yeah.
And so so those markets are growing like crazy, and they're like, I'm investing in the crypto because or day trading. I mean, how many of them, if they're going to do stocks, it's not even really long-term stock investing. They're day trading. Right. And so, and they have the ability to affect these markets. The issue is their earning power has been dropping. And so their wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living. And so still staying with mom and dad, living in their houses, not buying houses. And it's like, we need to rewire the way that we say, hey, listen, traditionally, this might be a better option. Like diving into something for the long term might be a good thing. Yeah. And I think that there's a good mix of it. Learn how to use the technology, understand all of those different things. I mean, there's going to be an entire shift when AI comes. Right. And does that group latch on to becoming the pioneers for that and understand how to use it, how to implement it? Maybe not. Maybe. Right now, they're showing signs that they can't focus on anything for more than 5 minutes. I know.